I've got to go in about 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah, no problem. I want to try and push this up to 15 kilobits, just below 4K. I'm going to be doing a lot on the 4K today and animation. I have reduced the CPU from 4.7 down to 2.9 gigahertz. That's about 30% less. Cut down the graphics too. Yeah, I mean it's a bit high, but I've been doing a lot on that. So the only thing I need to worry about now is the 30,000 crashes. Which the 30,000 crashes I can't control.
When I go, I shan't say goodbye because
No,
I don't want to do what I'm doing. Okay?
oh, it's not a problem. We know you're going to test out your eyes. Just let us know when you're going. You know what I mean? Because I can't see on the Discord, obviously. I know what you're saying.
So
Okay. I
it's
know what
5
you.
minutes. And it's not live yet.
Isn't it?
No?
Well, according to my setup, it is. And it's displaying that 11 kilobits. I need to turn that up though, actually. Cause I got the You could be right, but according to this, it's on.
And there you are. Yes, you're on now. You're on live.
Well, the cars are running at 80%. That's 160. It's now jumped up to 94, so that's definitely the streaming, and it is fluctuating.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Little Miss UK, and my partner in crime is Pepper. I can't be here today because I have an eye hospital appointment. So Pepper is on his own for a little while.
No, yours will be on shortly. I can bug him. Basically today, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be testing graphics, animation. Basically what I'm going to try and do is cut down the crashes. And to do that, I'm going to be reducing the performance of my PC. I got it down to 40%. Basically, so the only thing I can't control is the 30,000. That's down to CIG. But I'm going to try and reduce all these settings here pretty low. Before a couple of days ago, I had it at 100%, causing normal crashes. When them crashes come in, you've got to press the R or the right bracket to get back into the game. But that's due to your PC overheating. So I'm actually concentrating on that at the moment. If you notice, I'm in a different screen and things have gone up pretty high. Sooner or later that will cause crashes, but that's going through the graphics card. I am running in SLI, but I won't be talking as much today. I'm just going to be, like I said, testing my PC. Because Zebra is going to be out in the next couple of days, and I am going to be testing my, what do you call that's pretty high at the moment, and again. I am at Port Olisar because this is where most of the crashes are, because most of the characters or NPCs or people are, yes, you got less skill and whatnot, but that will be adjust individual as we go along. The CPU is running good. There's no disk activity. I'm not running in RAM today, but the graphic card is fluctuating quite a bit. But that's actually due to me putting OBS on at the same time. I've got everything running on the same PCU. I mean, on the same PC. That's the game, OBS, Discord. What's the other one? Even voice attack.
I've got to go.
Okay, look, I'm gonna see you later.
Bye.
Bye, love. My cards are running at 90%. That's still too high for me. Right. I'm not a genius at this. I'm still a beginner like everybody else. I want to cut that down to 25. See what this does. That's high.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
These cars run very high.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
These cars run very high.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
See, at the moment, the higher I got the bandwidth to push these to have very high quality on the YouTube, but it puts more load on the graphics cards, and that will cause overheating, and then you get server crash. reason I want to get this right is because I can't party with my friends at the moment. So if I'm in a group doing missions or whatever, as you can see, it's up at 90 odd percent. That could serve a server, that could cause a crash where I'd have to load back into the game. Not a server 30,000 crash. 30,000 server crashes, that's down to CIG. There's nothing you can do about that. But the other ones you can, and that's by cutting the load down in the CPU and the graphics card. What happens with the GPU will impact on the graphics card. Yes, it can take most load of the CPU. As you can see, my CPU is running at just under 40%. That stops overheating, but it's not good for the graphics card. I've got the bandwidth to push this. I don't believe graphics cards should run at 100%, and that's the reason why I always run to. It puts more load on the graphics cards, and that will cause overheating, and then you get server crash. The reason I want to get this right is because that sound here in the background, I've got YouTube running in the background, so I'm going to stop the echo by turning the sound down in the YouTube. As you can see, it's up at 90 odd percent. That could that could cause a crash where I'd have to load back into the game. Not a server 30,000 crash. 30,000 server crashes, nothing you can do about that. I need that on because when I go to test it, no, I don't need that on actually. That stops the echo when you're streaming in the background. First I want it right in the game first before I start doing OBS. If OBS wasn't on, this would be running roughly about 60% and 5 on the graphics cards, and on the CPU be running about 3 or 4% less, because I'm not really putting any load on the CPU through the OBS, because I've been already going for the graphics card. I'm not an expert on this, I'm just experimenting, because I am a streamer for Unity, so obviously I've got to get it right. All the videos I do is uncut, tested and on testing to give general ideas. Now it seems a bit boring just going backwards and forwards, but at that moment, as I said, I'm on testing. I want it near enough right for when it goes live.
Good purchase.
I'm buying Fleet Commander gear at the moment, and that's gold in our org. Plus, I've been finding 600 die because I've also got that on test. Well, my main role play is exploration.
Smart
Today is all about testing the game so I don't crash. I have to go back into loading screen. Tomorrow, if the game
Hi,
doesn't
welcome to
start,
school.
I'll be working on Discord. Not Discord, sorry, OBS. Okay. I can actually run this PC at 5 gigahertz, but it's not practical with all these cores, you see. And the memory can go to 36. That's also something I'm going to be working on. I need could do with more speed on that. The reason being, when I start using the running me, see, I got 130 gigs of RAM. I'll be running the game in RAM, so this could be tweaked up a bit, you see. If I do it now, I'll have to restart everything. It takes me about 10 minutes to set up. That is now jumped right up. Just changing my gear. Oh, I've lost my hat. If anybody's interested and they want to know how I've got these graphics, I'll go into the NVIDIA settings. My settings are very high at the moment, okay? So don't expect these to work on your settings. That can actually go up to 16, but I've turned it down just to spare it later, and I'll turn it up when I go into the PU. could turn that down actually. I should turn that down. So you can go a heck of a lot higher. It does work, but like I said, I'm actually testing everything with OBS at the moment, you see. So I go through these settings individually. I'm actually working on this one at the moment where you don't get the tear in the screens, and it works at half refresh rate to get better graphics. Now I don't know what that will be like on streaming, but that's why I've got that set on. I've also got this reading 4 frames in advance there, and 4 frames for my PC because I'm running in 4K. I find out I get better animation, less stutter, because it's reading in frames in advance, you see, because I have everything clamped so it doesn't go over a certain frames per second, because sometimes it works, but if everything's just straight, it's just easy on the eyes and easy on the brain. Going faster, going slow, going faster, going slow. It doesn't work sometimes, but yeah, I mean, but I don't know what it's like on the streaming because I've got to actually go back on that and have a look. Now, according to these settings, these are very low, and that's good. So if I go into space there now, that should be okay. I go back downstairs where everybody else is, everything's going to jump right up, as you can see. This is where you get your PC overheating, everything. As you can see. If you look at the GPU, it has risen by about 20%. I am running in SLI. I've been told it doesn't work, but I prefer to run SLI than run everything on one card. I've actually had £800 card blow up when I've been in the PTU, so I won't use one card anymore. I'll always use 2 cards, so I can turn my settings right down and still get some kind of performance. I still prefer to use the 1080 Ti's. I don't really need to use the 20 Ti's at this stage. This will save me a good few years. These two 1080 Ti's outperforms one 1080 Ti. It's not supposed to, but less power, less stress. It's a better all-rounder than one card. I'm using 3960 Pros in RAID 0. I'm not using Octane because I think this is actually better, because I can actually run the whole game in RAM. I never switch off my PC, so I don't have a problem with loading times. Cards have gone back steady again, processor at 40%. Where you see it there in memory at 104 gigs, that is what I'm using, but that is to run the game in RAM when I'm ready. I am using 2 Ethernets. I don't know too much about that, but at the moment it seems to be running on the bottom one. This is the one I actually want it running through. That one there. I prefer it on that one because I can actually control the speeds. Show you what I mean. Ah, that's the reason why. So I got this actually running in the background. What that's doing at the moment. As you can see, I've got everything running through one card. I don't know what it's like on YouTube until actually go into it properly. But I don't think it's very good at the moment. But for my PC, this is pretty stable. Right. This is what I prefer to use. This controls the bandwidth of every application I got running the game. Most streamers will be using this. And all this does, just checking all that needs to be altered. You see what's happening? All this does is control each application running through your network system. So anything that's high, you can control it and turn it down. But like I said earlier, it's not patched into there, it's patched into my second network. So I can't control that at the moment. Oh, can I? No, I can't. I'll have to actually plug it out. But I'll cut everything. No, I'll leave it as it is. And I've got no problems at the moment. Right, okay, what's next? So it seems like we're going to the Moby glass. That is a heck of a lot of network activity. Somebody's on here that's got a starfarer. I'm not getting any errors, so things are okay. Oh, it's gone missing. Can't work without that. I need that. graphics are very high. That's going to cause problems. The Moby glass is going to cause problems. Okay, let's go somewhere else and do that. That's going to cause problems. That's going to cause crashes. It's a heck of a lot.
Roger.
I think CIG needs to look into this. Most of you will have this going through your CPU and that will bounce that right up. %20 to 30, 25% on that, 25% that's 50%. That will take that to about say 50, 60% on your CPU. That'll cause the game to crash. The reason why it's not going to happen with me is because I am running it through the graphics card, you see, and not the CPU. All these settings is actually for my PC, my system, because it's a very high setting, you see. At the moment, because CIG is working on the PTU stuff, my settings will actually quadruple to the normal settings on a normal PC, causing the PC to crash, overheat, etc. And this is what most of the high PCs that have problems having at the moment. They need to actually downclock the PCs so these problems don't happen, because it gets confusing with server crash, that's the 30,000 crash, and the normal crash that you get on your system, which I've been having a lot of. So I'm actually tuning my PC down to a lower setting so it's more reliable. As you can see, it hasn't crashed. We're supposed to be running at my normal settings, it'll be crashing every 30 seconds. Now about now, I would say my graphic cards will be throttling. Let me just listen. Yeah, I can hear it running in the background. I never usually hear it this high actually. Not a wise idea to leave this running. So don't leave your Moby glass on and go away and leave your PC think it's going to work, because as I can see, look at the performance on that. The Moby glass is using a heck of a lot. always leave on my mobiglass. That's not good. Anyway, let's get my ship sorted. A lot of you will disagree with what I'm doing here, but this is what works for me when I'm doing my testing. And because of my PC setup. I'm not doing combat, so I'll take it off that one. What was that? Take it off the reclaimer. I want to try the civilian power plant. Not tried that yet, but I've not got a ship that's got it, so I'll be buying that in game for testing. I bought all these ships so I can take the components off them, because obviously if you don't get to play the game long enough, and with the crashes, these components on these big ships are very expensive, and that's the only reason why I do it this way. Because you can run out of credits unless you're a very good hauler. In the last patch I couldn't haul at all because there's so many bugs with the caterpillar, and I prefer to use the shield generator from the reclaimer. In the game it's about 30,000. It's half the price of the whole the strong guard. Now, the reason why I prefer to use that is because it's got a very fast regeneration rate, faster than the strong guard. These have got very high hit points, but the ships that are attacking you are ships that's not got that many guns, so the regeneration rate is better overhot in the long term. But as the ships get bigger, then you're going to have to use stronger shields or more shields. Then the 600 will become redundant then, obviously. I've actually tested these shields against two size 7s, two 600 eyes firing size 7 guns at me in the last patch. Each gun was 2,500 times by 6, and it couldn't take down the shields. That's because obviously I've been doing a bit of shield modulation as an engineer in the game, you see. Guys, we're running at 100%. I am keeping an eye on these, okay? Because these are what you can blow your cards. I really don't like that setting. Can't stay here too long. Taking the guns off. going down a size. Take them off the vanguard. And the Andromeda. Now the reason why I'm going down a size is because I prefer to use gimbals on these big ships. Because you've got more maneuverability because the ships turn very, very slow. Not much firepower, but obviously you're going to have to pick the right weapons that work good with these ships. Now it's a toss between two at the moment because I'm a distance shooter at the end of the day, so it's a toss between let's go back up here. I'm not really too happy with the rhinos. I know they're supposed to be good, but I've not learned how to use those effectively yet, so I'm going to change. Yeah, as I say, it's a toss between the Ermskis and the laid and the laser cannons, but like I said, they're very, very close. I think that the M6 has got slightly longer range and lower DPS, but the range is where I go for at the end of the day. Now those go on the wings. Right, now because I'm low in power, in firepower, I need something to compensate. Now I haven't got the distortion cannons, which I prefer to use on the nose, so I will be using the ballistics as countermeasures until I get that in game or find a ship that's got it. But like I said, I don't like using ballistics because they run out and I'm an amateur at the end of the day. I'm not a pro. But I've got the shields to protect me until I get the distortion cannons. But I can't stay in there very long because it's putting pressure on my graphics card. It's not wise to run your graphics card over 70%. You need redundancies, especially in this game, because it will blow your cards, especially if you get caught in an infinite loop when CIG is working their testings and whatnot, and you will get it in the PTU, making your PC very vulnerable. And at the day, CIG is going to turn around and say, it's your PC, what you do is at your own risk. But at the end of the day, they should give us some ideas and say, look, the PTU is for testing, and there's configurations in there that will put pressure on your system. So for all you guys out there with high PC specs and don't know what you're doing, I would suggest stay in the PU until it's released. At least there's less risk of damage to your PC, because this game needs high specs, and when it comes to high specs, it's very expensive. A lot would disagree, but that's my assumptions. Well, actually, no, it's costing me, so you know what I mean. Right, let's save all this. I need distortion cannons now. I'm not going to be changing these, which I can't because they're locked, but if I was going to be changing these guns on the what they call it, I would actually change these size 3 guns to sucker punch size 3s, and the other weapons you get in the saber raven. Okay, those are very powerful. If you've not got a saber raven, then you're going to have to use something that's close to that. Remember, distortion cannons do damage to the hull. Sorry, do damage to the. Let me take this off because I don't like this at that high rate. Distortion cannons do damage to the power plant and shields, but you won't see it on the shields usually, depending on what type of weapon you're using. But it does put stress on the power plant, and after a while you'll see things on their ship start disappearing or not malfunction. But it takes a couple of minutes before you actually notice what's happening, because it can't see what's happening on the other enemy ships. It's on the attack. You've just got to be patient. Rattlers to do with shield and power plants. Then distortion cannons work well on them. It does actually work. I'm just waiting for the cars to cool down a bit. So be careful when you're going to the mobile glass, you guys. As you can see, the graphics cards went up high, but I'm actually rendering through the graphics cards and not the CPU. I'm going to see if I can get some size 4 distortion cannons. They're at Lesky. I don't think they're here.
Hey, back again, I see. Welcome.
Oh, you've changed. You changed your hairstyle. I like your other
Welcome back.
hairstyle better. Anyway, I'm not here to look at women at the moment. I'm here to test my PC.
Feel free to take a look around. We've got a pretty good selection.
It's not here. It's supposed to be in Dumpers Depot, isn't it? Or I'm at Dumpers Depot. This is just spacesuits. When the game starts live, I'll be talking a lot about drones, and I'll be talking about AIs, and I'll be talking about trades. Trades is something that's not in this game yet, but will be introduced. I mean, will be in the game when it gets started. What that means, traits are, how can you put it? Abilities to do certain things. Okay, so basically, if your AI is combat, one trade could be combat. Then you might, if it's got 3 trades, so you pick 3 trades. Okay, one will be combat, one will be engineering that fix components, and the other one will be on exploration, searching for things. Those are what you call trades. Now these traits at the end of the day is what should be controlling the NPCs that's going to be on your ship, and these are where you're going to be able to use the drones. But I'm going to be going in detail with that in the game, but not here, because the drones are not quite in game yet, and it's something that I think we should look into, because obviously it's going to cause complications, because no NPC should have the ability to do everything unless it's trained up over time. It's not data yet, but for those who get better over time, they have to take part from basics and learn as you play with
Nice
the
to see you
NPCs,
again.
like you're playing with your fellow colleagues. You know what I mean? They're beginners when they come in, and as the more they play, they learn new things and they get better. Well, these traits are what you do in NPCs and whatever. All these I know from Star Trek Online. But I don't know what they're going to do with these guys, when they're going to put it in, and how.
We got a lot of variety. Take your time and have a look.
What I'm looking for at the moment is the distortion cannons, size 4s. I know they're not in here, but should be in here. This can't be Dumper's Depot.
Feel free to...
Cars are slightly high at the moment because I'm downstairs, where most of the activity is. I prefer to spend most of my time at Lesky, but the CP settings is totally different, so I'll be turning my settings down by at least 3%. Here we are. Weapons. Those will be for the 890 jump when they come into game. So that's not going to be used now. Guns is what I want. Size 6 is here. I can't use size 6. I need size 4s. Yeah. These are only 600 at the moment. They're not that much good. These like distortion cannons, but if you can get the sucker punch size 3s, you got it going. Reason being, these are about 200 DPI distortion or something like that, 300. The sucker punches are 900. Okay, so if your shield generator is 96,000, blah blah blah. 2 sucker punches size 3 that just under 1,000 is 2,000. But they don't fire pellets, they fire something strong. This is what I want.
Hi.
But that's too strong
Let me
for
know
me.
if there's anything I can help you with.
I have to use size 4, but you can't get size 4 here. You've got to go to Lesky. I'm just checking. I want to use this, but this is not working yet, which I've tested. Not properly. Yeah, size 3 sucker punches. If your ship takes it, use it. Okay, it does mess with the power plants. Okay, and shields. You don't see it straight away, but enough shots in the right place, it will show you a lot. Right, I'm going to have to go to Lesky now. And I'm going to have to turn down my PC settings. Now, I tell you, I'll leave it and you'll see I'll crash. But 27 megahertz, oh yeah, 27 megahertz is good for Lesky on my PC, actually, that is. I don't like using the Mobigas here, and I won't. This is the reason why I've not crashed. Okay, I've got my PC running below specifications. That's a good thing about my PC. It's so versatile, you can do practically anything with it, and that's to do with the motherboard. I'm not saying I'm using the best motherboard at the moment, but it's supposed to be good for reliability. I'm using a Gigabyte Night Gaming Pro whatever by Aurora. Bought that about a year ago. It's not the best board there, but for reliability I've had no problems with it. Can't stay in here too long. I'm looking for 600i.
All of our landing areas are currently full. Please hold for assignment.
Unfortunately, our automated system is unable
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
We apologize for any
If you noticed,
Please try again later.
when the ship spawned, for that couple of seconds, my graphic settings went right up. Right, so my graphics have gone down. Wow, that's not bad. So I can use mobiGlass here. Let's check that. Let's check that. So I'll be using the mobiGlass at the terminals from now on here, because it's very low. As you can see, it's not 100%. All these you learn by just testing things, so you remember them when you're actually in game. Put my suit on. There's one ship that I'm waiting for now, and that's the F8 Lightning. The F8 Lightning will be going on my Polaris. The hammer, the cutlass, but I can't fit on there. I do a lot of ship comparison, a lot of speculation. Basically why it can't fit is because there's a divider in the hangar deck. Basically it's smaller than the doors or the sliding doors. I always prefer to set my locations before going to the ship. I usually set it before I start, but because sometimes the ship disappears. This is a fiddly bit. Since I put more asteroids in there, it's difficult to set your Lesky. But when you're on an attack in space, it's better to be set up beforehand. There it is. It's not going to let me set it. I'm going to do it the hard way. Okay. What's happening? I am using Hostess at the moment, but I want to get the verbal deltas because it's like joysticks on a joystick. With the new fight model, that's where it comes very handy. Graphics are very, very high here. This can cause crashes. So that needs to be turned down. That is very, very high. I presume that'd be even higher with the mobiGlas, wouldn't it? Yes. Okay. Turn it down to 27. Now this is where I'm going to start losing frame rates now. But it's not the processor that's the problem. It's the graphics cards. So I don't see why I need to turn down the processor. I will put this back up to 29. But I just want to see if there's any effect. I could alter this, but I'm not going to touch this because it means I've got to reboot my PC. That's not good. That needs cutting down. Now this comes down to trial and error now. coming down. Yes, it is. No, it's not. The only conclusion is to go down to a lower graphic rate. Let's try that. I'm going to go down to 2K. Right. I paid for 4K and I don't want to go down to 2K, but if I don't, I'm going to crash. But let's go to that one. Right, okay. Now I'm going to lose most of my settings now, but as you can see, I've reduced my graphic settings. I can put everything back to normal. Dum, 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 dum. Now the problem is, I got a funny feeling because I've changed the format in the game. You might only see half a screen, but I'll look into that in a minute. But the game can't play in 4K. But I'll get better performance. And I can turn up with process and everything to go with it now. I can put all my settings back. Have I lost the game? I will be sorting that out shortly. Just bear with me, folks, please. I've reduced my PC from 4K to 2K. I can put this PC back to its normal operating frequency. That can go back to 4.5 now if I wanted it. But I don't want it just there yet because I've got to change a heck of a lot of things. Everything there is in its normal parameters. That's disappointing, that. Can't play the game in 4K. Right now, back into OBS. No, it's not OBS, it's let's check. I really don't know what this looks like on stream properly just yet. But usually in the past, when I changed my resolution, you only see half a screen or 25% of it. But my concern at the moment is this down here. My cards have gone to 100% and it wasn't going to allow it. So now it's reduced me down to 2K now. Remember, it's about playing the game so you don't crash. I paid a lot of money to play in 4K, can't play it in 4K. I can play it in 4K, but at a discomfort. This game's too powerful to play in them resolutions at the moment. So be careful at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Every part of the universe you go into will be different. Right, okay. I got to try and get this now back to full screen without coming out of the game. There is an in-between mode, and that's that there, but I'm not going to go there. I've seen that one work a normal with less messing around. So what I've got to do now is change something on here. Have I come out of the game? I have to keep check. I don't want to come out of here at the moment because this is where my problem is. Escape. Let me just check this code again. But it seems like it's showing all the screen. The reason I can tell that is because I've got the text in one corner and I've got the text in that corner. That tells me I'm showing full screen. But as you can see, I got to raise this and also keep everything running in the background the way I wanted, so when I'm switching screens. This is all experimental to me at the moment, but it's all what you call trial and error. But the main concern at the end of the day is the graphics cards. Right, let's go back into here. Let me try this first. Full screen window. No, I'm not going to try that. I'm going to try this one first. Nothing's changed. I got the game. Nothing's changed yet, but there has actually. Basically, I don't want to be losing these, 'cause I want it on these on top, you see. And that's where the problem is. So I can do my testing while I'm in the game. Oh, wait a minute, I'm in the wrong mode there, aren't I? Right, so to get back into the game. Okay. It's not letting me get back into game. Well, you guys at the moment in 4K, I would actually go and check over your settings again, as you will be having a lot of crashes. You won't be getting 30,000 crashes. 30,000 crashes usually down to CIG. Have I got that the wrong way round? Well, my PC works differently, you see. Right, okay. I could have explained it back to front. I know one does one and the other one does the opposite. The ones with the loading screen, I always say that's down to my PC. The 30,000 I always say is down to CIG. Basically, it's because you can't get back into the game. You got to start again. I am trying to get back into 4K. I mean, full screen. I know what to do, but I don't want to shut down the PC to do it. You can see back into mobiGlas. mobiGlas has gone back high, but it's not as any discomfort. Take it off, it goes right back down again. As you can see. What I want is this. Graphics. It's going to take ages to work this out. K, full screen. Right, it seems like I'll have to look out the close that down. It seems like I'm actually left with no choice. So what I'm going to do now as an industry, I'm going to give the basics. I'm going to change my display settings and go down to 2K. It's better change everything so you know where you stand. That's the first part. The next. I'm almost sure I've got to change something in here too. It's making funny noises. Where is it in here? Video. You got to change this down now, okay? But I've got to actually log out from here to do that, and also got to also log out of Windows to do that too. To do that, I'll do this one first. Change that down to 2K, and then change your OBS into 2K. So you have to log out of Windows to go into the next screen down. So it resets everything. Log out. This will shut down Windows, and it will